Hello. So it's been a while. Um, I haven't actually been recorded a video in like a month. Yeah, reason for that was PC upgrade. Now it's too late to actually get the thing again. But we're back. That's the main thing. So what's gonna be going on here? We're gonna be doing an alternative history of the world. So we're gonna start at 1914 and build ourselves up to um the modern day and beyond. So certain events like World War One, World War Two will happen, but they're not going to be the same. Like World War One will not be the same as in our timeline. It's going to be different. There's going to be different events. Different countries will join that stayed neutral and different sides. Um, like say if Spain joined in on like the Central Powers or something. But we know how it starts. Austria-Hungary loses its leader to um to a Serb nationalist down in this part of in Bosnia. So that's how it starts. So I think in real life Montenegro didn't join immediately, but in this time we're gonna have them join immediately. Same as Russia. Well, actually, no, Russia joined straight away. So I don't know what I'm talking about, but this happens, and what would you know it? We have this happening. So it's the same. It's right now it's the same besides Montenegro joining immediately, but hey, it's fine. It's all alternative history. So we are going to have once again the complete failure of the initial invasion of Serbia from Austro-Hungarian. Like we haven't changed anything up to this point. Everything that happened is the same. Nothing changed before World War One. Like so, this empire, this is still a fragile empire in the middle of Europe. Russia's not mobilized yet. Obviously, they have a huge military. So Germany they can't really do much. Like I mean, in real life, they invaded into Belgium, and then Britain's gonna get involved, and oh wait, Germany's doing the exact same thing. Oh, well, British get involved a week into the war. Um, time to go and get all the colonies to join. So yeah, this is certainly the world map. A lot of blue. Majority of the world is blue. I'm missing a few colonies. Boom and boom. Boom. That was definitely colonized, but I can't remember who colonized it. So since I can't remember, this is Sassania independence. So they are now independent, if they weren't already. So in Europe, same thing. Serbia is gonna push back, but the Serbian military is not good enough to go into Austro-Hungarian territory, so this is gonna be a long stalemate. Oh my god, bro! Over in Western Europe, you have this Schlieffen plan, kick into action, same as real life did. Belgium is still gonna fight back. Not sure about this point where British joined the war, but doesn't matter. Germans are now into France and making a bolt for Paris. But you got to, who knows? Well, the Austro-Hungarians are going to re-enter into Bosnia. They're going to re-enter into Serbia and a little bit into Montenegro, but It's not much. Russians are almost ready for war. A lot earlier in our timeline. Germans don't actually know this, so they're just gonna keep pushing down. And they actually do capture Paris here. They capture Paris, but due to overwhelming amount of French soldiers, the forced to leave. So eventually, the front line looks like this. Uh, up in here we have Norway and Sweden thinking to do some stuff with Finland, because it's mainly Sweden wanting to do something with the Finnish, because they used to own it, but then they lost the war against the Russians, so like they hate them for that. So they might start working with some ties with Germany, or they may not. Don't know yet. They haven't said anything. They know. So it's around 1915. War's mainly been stalemate, and we have, just like the same, we have Bulgaria joining the war, and this is going to do this. But this is also going to kind of upset the Ottoman Empire, since they joined the Central Powers. Is in this timeline, the Ottomans do not want a strong Bulgaria, because if you have a strong Bulgaria, they might have more ambitions to take Scythe. So they're now thinking of joining in on the Allies, even though they don't want to fight with Russia, which is a complete flip in their timeline, but it's their land. Greece also does not want a big Bulgaria, because they want this land. They actually, I'm pretty sure they have a claim on it in real life. They had a claim on it at this point, but due to, well, Balkan Wars, they never had it. So let's go to fighting on African soil. We once again have not much happening here. We have this happening. This colony is also almost like basically done for. Like it's now on the front line that looks like this. But also like this colony is mostly playing defense. I mean that's just Germany's colonies. They're mainly just on defense, while the main government is on the offensive. We do have them take over Gabon. We do have them taking over Gabon, which is a bit of extra land. Down in German Tanzania, German East Africa, it's a little bit different, as we have the German Tanzanians push into Kenya, British Kenya. So it's a bit different, and they also push into like this British Zambia and British what you call it? It's like it sounds around Malaysia, but it's not Malaysia, obviously. Mali, I think it's called. So, not it's going better in for that instance. It's going better than on our timeline. Gotta color that. So now what? Let's get back to the Western Front. So in the Western Front, Germany is now going to push in a little bit from here. It's not much, but I mean, it's something. Belgium also falls. And then we have a little encirclement that does not last long at all. And we have a little counteroffensive, like right here. And they also like try to go near, but this doesn't actually work out for them. So it's on this like they just hold it, just hold the land. Russia is now ready for war. And it's a lot sooner than Germany, Austria, Austria-Hungary expected. Like, they just knocked out Serbia out the war in Montenegro. Same thing happens in real life, how Serbian forces go into Albania. So we have Austrian Hungarians evaluate their neutrality and then walk in, occupy the country. So now they occupy 4 out of 6 neutral. Well, not really neutral. 4 out of 6 non Central Power countries. So now it's Sweden. They were planning something, and now they're gonna do it. They're going to fund rebellions into mainly in here, but also like in Estonia, for lands that they had but then lost. But they have no interest in joining the war, as I hinted at they would do earlier. But they're not going to join the war. They're just gonna fund rebellions. So Ottoman Empire now joins the war on the Allies' side. Now, we know in our timeline how they did join the war, but it was on the Central Powers. They're not gonna do that in this time because, well, I want to see the Ottoman Empire that is still standing. But also, they don't want an expanding Bulgaria with Bulgarian troops now in Albania. They're like, hey, you can't do that. And they're like, we don't care. We're doing it anyway. Look who we're partnered with. So now, fighting will now ensue with Balkans, even more fighting in the Balkans. We actually have Bulgaria kind of like enter in on Thrace, but they will not be able to capture Constantinople. We do have Russians being sent down into here. Now, these two do not like each other, but for the war they're gonna have to. So Russia does send some troops that will fight in the Balkans. I don't know what the hell happened here. Let's just recolor that in. So Romania will not join. This is in the same neutral, as Russia has not did anything in either Galicia or Eastern Prussia, or even Eastern Poland. They haven't done anything yet. So this is in the wait. Let me get this color again. So now we have Russians pushing into Eastern Prussia and Galicia. Now, and actually we do have a push from we have a push into Constantinople. Now this isn't Romanians. This is actually Russians that so Romania is now given territorial access to Russia to help them fight against Austria-Hungary. Now, will this get them invaded? Probably. It might just be hint. I might have hit into that. They might get invaded. They might not because of this. Because I mean, Russian troops are literally in a country that is neutral. So like, over back in the Balkans, we have Ottoman forces and Russian forces push up back into here, and then it's stalemated. So let's just go over the stalemates. Stalemate. Not stalemate. We'll get that, and stalemate. And why was this not a stalemate? Because Germany is now pushing back on the Russians. And actually, they will be pushing back, and they will be pushing into Russian territory. Just a little bit, but they do. Now it's the fighting, and actually more countries joining. So, China is gonna join the Allies, or the Central, well, the Entente in this scenario. But I'm just gonna call them the Allies. Uh, so that was a complete like to Germany, because China. I mean, China at this point isn't really a big powerhouse as it is in real life, but it's still to Germany. And we're gonna have to counteract this, we're gonna have Iran join the Central Powers. Why would they do that? Well, I think they I think I'm gonna put them in for the reason that they want to kick the British out here, and they want to kick the Russians out here. Like, they don't like having Russia at the border, because it's like like biggest country in the world. They want to kick them out by sending more rebellions inside of Russia. So let's go back to African funding, where stuff is actually picking up the pace. So we have a pushback in German Cameroon, and it doesn't do much, but I mean, it's still stuff. And they're just holding on to this territory as long as they can. And over in here, they are now on the offense. Well, the British are now on the offense, as all the gains, they actually got up to here, but then they were pushed back. I should have showed that, but too late now. So we now have Iran surrounded on all sides. That may be important. They might get out of this war with a little backhand, or they might get out of the war with a little fragmentation. Now let's go over to Italy. Now, Italy and realize joined the Allies, and I still see them joining the Allies. So, reason for that is them joining the Allies mean that they can get land that they already claimed, like South Tyrol, and this land, whatever that land's called. And we actually have more territory being lost in Austria-Hungary. And now Germany's like, the hell, man, we were allies. And Italy's just like, yeah, well, you never trapped me like one. So now Greece will now also join the Allies. Not turn into the, not get occupied by the Allies. They will now join the Allies. And this will not be a long friendship. We'll say that. This won't be a long friendship. Not happening. So with this, the Allies can now start to liberate the Balkans. But it's not going to get much. It's not going to get far. And we do start to have a push through with Greece and Ottoman Empire pushing into these territories. Let's get over to Iran. Now, Iran's role in this war, be a pain. Be a pain to the Ottoman Empire. Be a pain to them. Let them know that you're here. Be a distraction and hold out, as we might get some Iraqi land. Now, the problem with that is mountain. A lot of mountains there. So there's like some things here, but a real invasion would be like that, which is not hard to do. But they will invade Russia in here, and they will slowly start to pick at Central Asia. Let's give them all this too. So they're gonna slowly pick at it. Now, I don't think that Iran's military at the time, but I think they're called Persia at this time. So at this time, Persia doesn't really have that big of a military, but they're starting to spend more on the military. And using whatever boat technology they have, they will go and invade the UAE and Qatar. And we actually start to see some rebellious ideals start to happen. So we have a rebellion in support of Iran come up here, and one right here, but this one's not gonna last long. This one though is gonna start taking names by going all the way up the coast and meeting up with the Iranians. So the British is gonna send a boat over here, and it's gonna get sunk. It gets sunk around like right there. Not actually due to the fact Iran did it, more to the fact that they didn't have enough fuel to make it all the way over here. So I mean that could have done better for the British, but yeah, it's not. But I mean they got this line back from the colonial armies. So now let's get to fighting on another different continent. What continent? I forgot to color you in. Oh, well, you know what? I kind of forgot about this. Australia definitely picked this land up ages ago, like back in 1914. It's now getting to 1916. It's like early 1916 now. So we will have. I mean, this is pretty normal. I mean, I can't see them keeping this land for that long. So now I've also so now after a map fixed, time to get to fighting on another continent, not Africa. Uh, Africa is the stalemate. So what continent will they be fighting on? Down in South America. No, South America, nothing happened. Nothing happened in South America. I want to include every continent. They will be fighting on each continent in this war. So they will be fighting in the North Americas. So what's the size in here? I'm actually gonna search that up because I actually don't know. So we will be putting Argentina and Chile on the side of the Central Powers. The reason for joining the war, it's mainly economical. But soon, there will be fighting here. And a couple countries kind of want Chile's land, like Peru, Bolivia. But also, there's starting to be beef between these two. Which that's going to be a big clash. Got Argentina versus the two biggest nations on a continent clashing against one another. That's gonna be a big fight. So let's get back to the European fighting. Now Germany has been having some. It's been good. They've been pushed back slightly, and there's now feeling encirclement, so they quickly deal with the situation, and now push further in, and now have this as the front line. They then finally not push into the UK. That is not possible for the German Empire. So now it's late 1916. Let's see how Russia's doing. Oh, they lost all of Poland, and they have also lost all of East Prussia and all of Galicia. They hold out here though. Wrong color. So now Russia is now on the not the offensive. They were on that, but not anymore. They will now be on the defensive as they start to lose territory to the Germans and Austro-Hungarians. Also, it's time for us to drag another country into war. We have them taking back this land, and then a couple Austro-Hungarian soldiers get lost, and they start to invade Romania. Romania is furious and they join the war. And then they immediately get slapped. But this is a good distraction for here, and Bulgaria loses more land to the south, and they're like, okay, gotta pull some military assets out of Romania, which leads to this. But they're able to keep a small front line on it. The Austro-Hungarians are doing just fine though against them. So Russia is now on defense. It's now time for a lot of rebellions to happen. Italy will now go on the offensive for the first time since they joined the war after they got this and this. But they will now go back on the offensive and take over some Austrian mountains and go into Austro-Hungarian territory, but also stop there as it's getting too costly to continue fighting. We have France now continuing this win and pushing back and getting a few kilometers and pushing Germans over here. It's a minor land win, but it's fine. We now have rebellions happening. We have a rebellion happen here, and that's all of Finland. And they're going to hold out as much as they can, as there's not much they can really do. We now have another rebellion join up right down here, and they all just kind of merge into one, as they want to join Arabia. So that this could be a union. So we actually do have Saudi Arabia joining in on the Central Powers for this moment, and they actually just straight up go to occupy the land. They were welcomed with open arms, and the oh my god. They're treated like freedom fighters. Freedom from the British, and they will just welcome them with open arms. But so now, even more trouble for the Ottomans, but they just decide to let the Saudi Arabians have this land in exchange. Just don't go above this line, and hey, let us focus on them, and it'll be fine. So that deal is sorted out. Iran, I'm just gonna call them Iran because it's like literally what Iran looks like in real life, and I couldn't be bothered to call them Persia. But no, they are called Persia. But Iran will now push further in and spark more rebellions in this region, but no one is willing to rebel just yet. We now have a minor ally joining in. It's Tibet. Tibet joins the war for no reason. Japan could join the war for like some other like small German islands around here, but they're like, it's whatever. I realized that was supposed to be called in a long time ago. But now it's time for fighting down here. We have Bolivia and Brazil join in on the Allies. So it is now time to face fighting in South America. We have Chile making the first move in attacking Bolivia, and then followed by Argentina with a little entering. Now, the Argentines actually do something a lot like what the Germans do, and that's invading a neutral country. Now, getting past this, I think there's like forest here. So they're able to, but they're going to invade Uruguay. and then they hope it's gonna be like what Germany hoped for Belgium. They're just gonna sit by and let them fight it out. They didn't. Yeah, no, they did not do that. They hold out, and they're pretty damn good at it. They will hold out, and now I can finally call them blue. So we have fighting now ensuing all over the world. So, but eventually, Uruguay falls to the Argentines, and they hold out. Now, who else wants to get some Brazilian land? Well, kind of no one, because Amazon rainforest. If Peru was gonna join anyone, it would be the Allies for Chilean land. But this is mainly also going to be a stalemate. All would, just like World War One was. But I mean, the Allies captured Cameroon. I mean, that's good for them. And they're not gonna capture this because it's too fortified. So it is now 1917, and the rebellions. I know I said it was gonna start up in 1916, but now the rebellions is gonna start up. Now we're not going to have a Bolshevik rebellion. So we're not gonna have that. We're just gonna have just rebellions, and one of the rebellions is this. All three of these allied nations rebel from the Allies. I mean, not rebel from the Allies, rebel from the Central Powers as they realized, hey, there's no actual troops here because this happened a little bit ago. So Austria-Hungary is now getting extremely nervous about how the war is. They lost all of their gains, and they lost an ally. And they now have an Italy that is advancing very, very much more down the coast. Even them looking to get Vienna, which is very, very bad. So Germans now have to send some troops from Russia and from France down to tackle Italy. And they do push them back, but it's not what they need. So is Russia gonna be able to push back? No, because at this point, Russia is pushed back almost to the capital city, which is at this time St. Petersburg. And the Finnish are actually gonna move up and try to capture it. They take land, but they're unable to advance. I mean, they advance in here because I mean it's cold. There's a little bit extra land, but not much. So there is one more big rebellion somewhere. Where would it be? And it's going to be in Central Russia. They're finally going to rebel, and it's a big rebellion. Like, this is massive. That's a lot of land. So Russia is like, ooh, I don't know if we should continue this. Germans are pushing in, even when only 30% of their military is currently here. So how it goes, 50% here, 20% is here, and 30% of the military is here. That's the German military distribution right now. So they're everywhere. Like, and up to this point, the Germans have 4 million troops. Way more troops in our timeline. Well, Yeah, no, more. So a lot more troops, and Serbia is now on the offensive, which means a couple things. One, Serbia's gonna get land, same as Montenegro. Well, now there's going to be rebellions in Central Europe. Because of this. At this point, we have Romania being fully liberated, as the Austro-Hungarians cannot enter it anymore. So let's get some colors in here. And alright, so we have two more rebellions. We have Transylvania rebels in favor of Romania, and we have they're not fighting. I'm just adjusting the borders. We have Galicia rebelling. This is bad because that's a lot of the eastern land, and the Battle of Vienna will happen as Italian troops move up to secure it, and they do. At this point, they can no longer fight in the war, and they surrender. So they surrendered in 1917 rather than 1918, which means this war won't be lasting too much longer. On the good side, though, we have this. We have a push up to here, and then we have a push up to here. So where they do see land gains is down in the southern hemisphere, but now Germany is needing someone around them, but no one is budging. Spain doesn't want to join. Portugal doesn't want to join. They wouldn't join. They're actually just going to join the Allies, because they're a little bit too close to some, so Germany declares war on them. Like, not a time long. But no country, I mean, their only option is Sweden, but they join in the war. They just join. They join for. They just join against Russia. This is just Sweden-Russian war, and it's kind of. It's like we just join us, please, and they're like, well, no, because then if you lose, then then we'll have to be at your negotiating table, and we might lose some of our land. So we're just gonna play it smart, and so they actually just start So just put it simply, they're just in a war. So Russia will have to sit down with Sweden at a table, probably in St. Petersburg, which is under threat. Actually, it's just got encircled. So I don't know. So the Russian capital is now under circle, and they will sign. They're not going to move it to Moscow because they kind of can't, as their capital is already encircled. They can't really move it. So they're gonna sign a ceasefire with the Finland rebellions, and they now announce Finland a country. So Finland does get its independence, and watch just do the peace treaty now, because this is a separate peace treaty. But we have a peace treaty that looks around like this. So we can take. So this is the peace treaty. Now the only reason the peace treaty happens is because a ceasefire was only signed with Sweden and the Finnish rebels. So what happened in the peace treaty was Russia has to pay Sweden a little bit of money, not much, just a little bit, only like $1 million, which Russia can easily do. Not with the current war. they were like, don't do it now, do it after the war. And Germany, realizing that Russia is weak, very weak, they're like, time to get a name in here and start invading Ukraine. Which they get up to, they get all the way down to here, but they've, but when they promised me they're not going to invade them because they have no interest. But at this point, Russia signs a ceasefire with Germany, and now it's just Germany versus, well, the rest of the world. Well, it's also down here. But down here, we have stuff going exponentially well as Bolivia can't keep fighting this war and they surrender. But the Bolivians rush in and to preserve some of its ally. And once again, this is going into a stalemate as no gains can be made here. Now, Germany tries to get a peace treaty with France, but they're like, hell no. We want our land. We're not leaving without a land. So now they're like, America's looking now to get involved with this war as it's 1918. They want this war to be over. But I said earlier that they would be fighting on each continent. That includes over here. Mexico will join the war on the Central Powers against the United States. Now, this could have happened in real life, but it didn't. And honestly, I will show you what would have happened if it did happen. And it's not very pretty for Mexico. Mexico's army was not ready to fight a war, and even if they got that message, they probably wouldn't join that war. They'd probably be like, "No, I'm gonna set this one out." So, while Mexico does invade the United States, invade Texas, they're not gonna get far because they're invading the United States, and even during 1918. The United States is now in the war, but they have to deal with Mexico. So this is kind of just like a little beat up before. This is like the training phase, I guess you could say, because Mexico is not ready for this. So then they get pushed back. And Mexico starts to get invaded. So Mexico is now getting invaded. Now they're like, "Why did we join the war?" Germany, what did you do? And Germany's like, "I just want you to get your old land back, man. Like over in Europe, we're not gonna be in France for much longer. So I mean, I kind of sabotage you just a little bit." But now we have Uncle Sam, aka United States, in the war, and they've technically awoken the beast, awoken the giant. But I mean, the Mexican government didn't give this much thought, as they just kind of looked at it and be like, "Ooh, okay, sure." But eventually, it gets up to the point where it's down to here, and it's down to here, and then they kind of surrender over to the United States. So back in Europe, during this time, it was just more of a stalemate, but now they're starting to push back Germany. And then push back Germany, but Germany is once they leave up to here, they're like, okay, let's have a ceasefire. It's like now, I'm done with the war. I surrender. So now it's basically um Iran is actually still in this war, so it's basically the world versus Iran. But they will do one final stretch into Iraqi land, and they will push up against Ottoman forces and get up to like here, we'll say. But this is it. Um, the war is over now. Fighting in South America is like done. This was a Central Power win. This was the Central Power win. This was a Central Power win. It's just this, not really a Central Power win. Plus, over here, I'm not doing the peace treaty because this video is already up to an hour. The second part will be the official peace treaty of this World War One. Now, then we'll have the Great Depression phase of the world, because I mean this war is going. It's ending on 1919. It's lasting 1 year longer with a little bit more competent German allies. And we'll probably, I don't know how many episodes it's gonna be from World War One to World War Two, but World War Two I plan to make bigger than World War One or World War Two in our timeline. It's gonna be so differences between World War Two and our timeline to this fictional world is it's gonna be more bloodier. It's gonna be more of everything, more deaths. It's just gonna be more of everything. So that's part one of this series. This is gonna be a long-term series. Like I don't want this to be like this is alternative history as of right now. Eventually we will get up to the 2024 or in 2025. But that's it.